Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome to my channel, Cooking with me, Chef Quee. It's been a minute, y'all. I've been lazy, but hopefully this video will make up for lost time. So today you guys will be cooking a small Thanksgiving dinner with me. So on the menu we have roasted chicken, collard greens, mashed potatoes with gravy, mac and cheese, cornbread, and some country style ribs. Now off camera I did make the gravy and the ribs and the cornbread. We're going to save that for another video. So enough talking, let's cook. Alright y'all, so we have a lot of things to cook. So we're going to start with our meat first. That's what's going to take the longest. So I have my whole chicken. I already washed it off really well. And I'm taking some paper towels and just patting the skin dry on both sides. Alright y'all, so now we're going to rub it down really well with some butter. You can also use olive oil. This is just going to create a nice golden brown skin that we want on our chicken. So you'll see me rubbing it all over, getting in those creases and crevices as well. And then we're going to season it. So this part is optional, you guys. I decided to stuff the inside with some aromatics for extra flavor. So I used some lemon, onions, and rosemary. You can also go in there with some garlic cloves as well. So here I'm tucking in the wings so my tips don't burn. Next you're going to see me adding some chicken stock. And we're going to bake this chicken at 400 degrees for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the size of your bird, just as long as the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees. Alright, so now we're going to work on our collards. So I have my pot of water. I'm going to add some chicken stock to it. And then I'm going to add in my smoked turkey legs. You can also use ham hock or whatever meat you want to use to, add some flavor to it and add that meat to those collards like we want. So I'll let this boil for about a good 2 hours. At minimum, you can do about 30 minutes to an hour, but I chose to just let it boil for 2 hours, y'all. So now I'm going to clean them. I did not show the process of that, but you guys will see me removing the stem and chopping those up in just a few. Alright, so we got our big fans here, aka our collard greens. So I did it completely backwards, right? I left I don't know what I was thinking. I left the stems in there while I was washing, but I ended up rewashing it anyways. So before y'all jump down my throat, but so you remove the stems, right? You want to remove that center stem because we don't want that in it, right? So we'll remove that out. And I found it easier to flip it over and just remove it that way. I just cut it out, or you can just fold it over and remove it like that. Y'all will see in just a minute exactly what I'm talking about. guys seen the 2 ways that you can remove the center stem out. Now, I want you guys to know this was my first time cooking collards on my own, right? My mom and my grandma normally does it, so y'all be easy on me. But you'll see me flipping them back and forth. I was just making sure they were completely clean. And once I removed each stem, I just set them off to the side and stacked them on top of each other. So now that I'm ready to cut them, what I did was take a few of them at a time and roll them up like a little joint, as you see, and I just cut them into little strips. I know my grandma and my mom, they normally just use their hands and just break them up, but I found it easier for me to just use my knife and just cut them into little strips like that. But whatever works best for you. Alright, so once I prep my collards, I am ready to cook them. So you guys know the color and how the texture is once you're done cooking those collards. They got that dark green color and they're nice and tender. Alright, so our collards are done. They are nice and tender, so I adjusted my seasonings at this moment. Drain off most of that liquid and then remove the meat off the bone. And of course, some people like to fry theirs in a separate pan with some bacon grease. That's totally fine, you guys. So the next side we're going to work on are our candied yams. So I have about 4 medium-sized sweet potatoes here, and you see me just peeling them, and then I'm going to slice the ends off. And then you'll see me, the way I slice them is cut them into little round, little circles, or you can just cut them in half and then cut them into little chunks. So however you decide to do it, it works either way. Alright, so now that I have my sweet potatoes cut how I want them, I'm going to take half of them and put them into my 9x13 baking dish. We're going to sprinkle on some granulated sugar, a little brown sugar, and some cinnamon and nutmeg. I'm going to repeat that process with the remaining half, and then you'll see me add on like a couple slices of butter as well. Alright you guys, so now that we're ready to bake them, we're going to cover them with some foil, place them in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Then we're going to remove them, uncover them, baste them with the candied mixture, and then we'll pop them back in for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, you guys, so the next dish we're going to work on are our mashed potatoes. So I have some russet potatoes here, and I'm just peeling them. I already washed them off. I'm peeling them, and I'm going to wash them again. And then I cut them into nice little chunks, and I place them in some water so they won't brown. And you're just going to boil these until they're nice and tender. So this is how we wanted you guys. When I slid my fork in there, it slid right in there, no resistance. Perfect. So now we're going to drain them, and I cheated. I used my KitchenAid mixer. So I just put them right in the bowl, put my whisk attachment in there, and just let them whip on their own. If you want to, you can use your potato masher or a whisk to mash them up, whatever works best for you. I just added some heavy cream, butter, and a little salt and pepper, and some garlic powder. Alright, our mashed potatoes are nice and smooth. If you want a more creamier texture, you can always add a little bit more heavy cream or milk. And you just adjust your seasonings with some salt, pepper, whatever seasonings you want to use. And now we're going to work on our last side dish, which is our mac and cheese. So I have some water boiling here with a little chicken stock for flavor. I got some elbow macaroni noodles. I'm going to boil those until they're al dente, about 7 to 8 minutes. You don't want to overcook those because you're going to finish cooking them in the oven. So the cheeses that I used were Kobe and Monterey Jack and mild cheddar. I will say I winged this recipe because I was super tired, ready to eat and ready to sit down. So I added some milk, butter, like a third of my cheeses, and some paprika, Cajun seasoning, and a little sour cream. So when I say I winged it, I don't know what I was doing. I cooled my noodles where I should have left them hot so my butter would melt all the way through, but it still turned out really, really good. I will do a correct and better mac and cheese recipe, so that's coming soon. So after I mixed that together, I buttered up my cast iron skillet, and I pretty much layered it. So I poured in some macaroni noodles or whatever milk mixture, added my cheese, and just repeated that process and just topped it off with cheese. Then I baked it at 350 degrees, covered for 30 minutes. Then I uncovered it, put it back in the oven for an additional 15 minutes. Alright, you guys, our Thanksgiving dinner is complete. Everything turned out amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching and coming to cook with me. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, follow me on all social medias, and I will see y'all in the next video.